Should I go contract or permanent? In this episode, we discuss contract versus permanent jobs with a particular focus on the IT sector.
I am working in a permanent job as a project manager, and Jim is a contractor here in software development.
Thanks, Jim and Sarah. I am Donald from Personnel, and we also oversee recruitment for the business. The majority of staff are full-time and on a more permanent payroll. Let us dive into why we have some staff on permanent and also utilize contract staff. Traditionally, companies employed people as they needed them, and when they weren't needed, they simply laid them off. This is still largely the case, but more stringent labor laws connected with unions as well as companies having discovered agile working, that is a quick regulation of labor according to monthly or weekly needs, has led to the relatively new company culture of using contractors. When I say new, I mean in the past 30 years or so. There can be other reasons, such as simply cooking the books to appear to the markets that they have less staff than they actually have, as contractors often are not accounted for in personnel numbers, but in the same expense categories as supplies. In most of the USA, for instance, people are employed with little or no actual protection in terms of contract. They are employed at will, which means that either party can terminate the job without notice, although at least a 2-week notice is customary. In many other countries, it is common or even the law to have an employment contract between the employer and employee. So we tend to just call them staff. Staff are, of course, guaranteed pay and have all their taxes sorted out for them. Other big reasons for hiring contractors are to get a resource in for a specific task, such as a server upgrade project, or to replace staff on sick or maternity leave. Companies usually have a lot more latitude how to set pay conditions for contractors versus employees. For instance, you can set an hourly rate, day rate, or even a pay per project, milestone rate. This is a good way to ensure that you get what you pay for. I also think that people shouldn't get too hung up on if it is a contract or not. If the job pays well and had the tasks you want to do, you should consider it, even if you prefer a permanent job.
Well, I have been with the company now for 6 months, hired from an agency which specializes in PHP programmers for a code refresh. The project is expected to take a year, and every 3 months the contract is up for renewal. The project manager actually thinks that it may go on for another 3 months, in addition to the planned year.
That is right. We have been asked by the product team to include several new features our customers have asked for to keep up with the competition. In fact, we will need another contractor with similar skills to Jim, so I put in a request to you, Donald.
Thanks, Sarah, we got that request, and the agency will supply a contractor later this week. We have also proposed to offer Jim here a permanent job with us, if he accepts. As we have discovered, we should have an on-staff PHP developer.
Thank you, and I will seriously consider it. I have enjoyed the flexibility of contracting to not be tied down to a job, but being able to move around and work where I take my fancy. Now, as I have started a family, I would like to settle down with more stability.
That is right. Whilst your agency has to offer things like healthcare, I think you will find that our healthcare plan is better with a lower copay. We have a great 401k and a number of other perks to ensure that our employees are happy and well taken care of, so they can remain productive.
When I worked in the UK, I was also a project manager but a contractor for an agency who sent me to work on a migration project for the National Health Service. I had actually wanted a permanent job, but this offered great pay, and I am glad I took it. I got married after a trip here, and now I am in the USA.
Did you notice differences with working either UK versus the USA?
Sure, like you mentioned, the absence of an employment contract. That felt a bit insecure at first, but I have been here for 3 years now, so I feel quite secure. I do my job well, so I have not much to worry about. Then the health insurance, but that wasn't scary either. It works really well. The much less vacation time was a bit sad at first. 2 weeks standard here versus 4 weeks in the UK. But at our company, you actually get a full extra week after 2 years of service, and then an extra week again after 5 years of service. So in 2 years, I will be back at 4 weeks paid vacation.
Thanks, Sarah. And thanks, Jim. I think I will round it up there. To summarize, the pros of contracting tend to be higher pay, more flexibility, high variability, less affected by company politics, faster hiring process. Some cons tend to be less job security, no company benefits, pay frequency and guarantee may vary, no stock options, admin around pay, tax, invoicing, and insurance, including liability. I will leave some links to popular websites to find contract jobs. For more information on finding jobs, check out our How to Find a Job video. If you can think of anything else, please leave a comment. Thank you for watching.